I'm Caroline. I'm a very grateful recovered addict. Woo! I've just got a question. Are there any other addicts present tonight? Woo! I just want to give you a really, really warm welcome to the very first West Country area banquet. Woo! I mean, we're actually a part of CA history. Right here, right now, you are a part of CA history. I'm so absolutely delighted to be sharing it with you. Now, I've got all over excited. Hang on. I've got something to tell you. That's why I'm here. I've got something to tell you. Listen, something's happened to me. Something's happened to me as the result of working the 12 steps in Cocaine Anonymous. Something miraculous and almost inexplicable has happened to me. And I've got about 40 minutes to try and tell you about this thing. About 40 minutes. So I'm going to talk fast, probably going to swear, because I just get excited and I don't mean to offend you, but I am probably going to swear, so sorry already. I've just got to tell you, hang on. You know, the story of my life has been, what is wrong with you? Caroline, what is wrong with you? You know, my lovely, sweet, hard-working, honest mum and dad, they gave me everything. They gave me everything that I needed to become like an honest, productive adult member of society. They gave me everything. At the age of 13, they were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? School teachers were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? Even my friends were like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? Later on, partners were like, Caroline, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you know, my natural instinctive response to this question, Caroline, what is wrong with you? Nothing wrong with me, mate. What's wrong with you? Nothing wrong with me, mate. What's your fucking problem? Nothing wrong with me, mate. Seeing the fucking state of you. Nothing wrong with me, mate. Fucking lightweight. And I honestly believed that. I honestly believed nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me, mate. What's wrong with you? Nothing wrong with me, mate. What's your problem? And I got through many, many years of using exactly like that. Nothing wrong with me, mate. What's your problem? Fuck you. That's how I got through it. Many, many years. But then you see at the end of that long, dark, dark night of using, I used to sit in the cold, dark middle of the night. Do you remember the lonely hours? The cold, dark middle of the night, lonely hours. I used to sit in between two babies' cots, absolutely despising myself, disgusted with the despicable creature that I'd become, loathing myself, asking that question, Caroline, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Because I knew. It was undeniable now. All the excuses had run out. All the blame had run out. Everything. It just ran out. I knew. Caroline, what is wrong with you? And the best thing, the absolute best thing that I could come up with, was, right, like I tried everything to stop and stay stopped. And the best thing I could come up with now was it would just be better if I was dead. It would be better for the babies. It would be better for my husband. It would be better for my mum. But most of all, it would be better for me. Because my suffering would be over. My suffering would just be over if I was dead. And it was at this point of absolute total despair, defeat, best option being death, that I was brought to Cocaine Anonymous. I was brought to Cocaine Anonymous by a woman who actually is in this room. I don't know if she wants me to tell you who she is, but it's Maria, anyway. She's sat over here. Sorry. So I was brought to Cocaine Anonymous, and you know, I'd been in and around 12-step fellowship. For years. I'd been in and around 12-step fellowship, but I never heard anything because it was just white noise because I was so consumed with myself. It was just white noise. I never really heard. People were getting well there. There was a message being carried for sure. There was programs being worked and there were people getting well, but I was just so consumed with myself that I only ever heard white noise. And I sat in this first ever Cocaine Anonymous meeting. Now listen, I'm not a cocaine addict. Is there any other not cocaine addicts in Cocaine Anonymous here? Yeah, my people. Because you see, I wasn't coming here. I definitely, when it was put to me, listen, you need to go to Cocaine Anonymous. You need to go to a fellowship where drug addicts help drug addicts. I was like, no, I don't like them. And she said to me, well, have you ever been? And I was like, no, but I don't like them. Because you see, I had in my head, when it was put to me, you need to go to Cocaine Anonymous, I had in my head a picture of what it was going to look like. And I'm not a cocaine addict. There is a reading, isn't there, that goes, would you have partied with these people? Absolutely. Listen, absolutely. If you've got any gear, any sort of gear, and you're sharing it, I'll party with you. Definitely, I'll party with you until all of your gear's gone. And then I'll probably steal your wallet, and I'll go and buy what I want, which is heroin. So yes, I will definitely party with you. But I just had in my head, no, I don't like Cocaine Anonymous. Them fucking chatty ones. Fucking chatty, Billy Big Bollocks. With the fucking teeth and that. Listen, if this is you, I love you. Now, and I know that I'm exactly the same as you, but then it was different. I was like, no, absolutely fucking not. Not with fucking Billy Big Bollocks in his BMW. Fucking loafers. I love you now. I love cocaine addicts now. I do think you're mental though. Try some fucking heroin. It's right there, isn't it? Smack it, yeah. Sorry, where was I? But yeah, anyway, so I was like, no, I don't like them. And she was like, I think we should go. And I was like, I don't like them. And she was like, have you ever been? And I was like, no, I have not, but I do not like them. Anyway, she's very insistent. She took me to my first ever Cocaine Anonymous meeting. It was a Friday night. It was up in Clifton. And there was a guy sitting at the top table who coincidentally wasn't a cocaine addict. Fancy fucking that. He wasn't a cocaine addict. And he made it emphatically clear, and I want to make it emphatically clear now that this is not about cocaine. And it is quite tricky because the name suggests that it might be. Like, we can be forgiven for thinking this might be about cocaine. It's not about cocaine. It absolutely doesn't matter whether you sniff or pop pills or lick rocks or whatever, smoking, pills, whatever it is, if you keep doing it when you don't want to do it, Anne talks about using against her will. If you keep doing it when you don't want to do it, we've got a solution. And this guy at the top table made it really, really clear. As soon as he started talking, he made it really clear this is not about cocaine, it's not about cocaine addiction. It's about something else. So I just want to kind of echo that, what he said. And it's so weird because you've got to remember I was at an absolute point of defeat where my best option that I could come up with was death. That was my absolute best option. And then I walk into this Cocaine Anonymous meeting, and what happened was you proved me wrong because it didn't look like I thought it was going to look like. It was a strangely assorted crowd, is what it looks like. That's a big book quote. I'm not slagging you off. It was a strangely assorted crowd in the room. It didn't look like I thought it was going to look like. So I'm at a point of defeat, and you proved me wrong. And for the very first time in my life, I was able to actually hear what was being said in a 12-step fellowship meeting. And he told this story that absolutely cracked through my brash exterior, and it reached into my heart, and the story went like this. The story went like, can you remember when it was going to be a good day? Going to be a fucking good day. I've had enough money, and I've scored enough of whatever it is, and I've got my little pile, and the door's locked, and the phone's unplugged, because that's how old I am. Phone's unplugged, curtains are drawn. Going to be a good day. You're going to have a fucking party for one. It's going to be a good day. I don't need to be anywhere. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to speak to anybody. Just going to good day. And this was a story he told, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember that day. I remember that good day. And he said, as soon as he starts to use the very first little tiny, tiny bit of whatever it is, whatever your thing is, the first sip, the first lick, the first hit, the first pill, very first little bit, there starts to be a rising panic. that goes, it's not enough. Use a bit more. Fucking hell. Definitely not enough. Use a bit more. Oh my God, I need to get some more money. Use a bit more. Oh my God, is the dealer still on? Oh my God, can I get out and get back? Oh my God. And this story just kind of like, it crushed me. It just crushed me. And every single person in the room was like sharing back with their stories about the same thing. There's never enough. There's never enough. And at the end of this meeting, I was crying. God, I cried a lot in those days. I cried a lot, and I was crying, and I was snivelling, and it was snot. And this woman came, and she sat down next to me, and she was so pretty, and her hair was really shiny. And, I'm dying. I'm like breathing my last breaths, and I can't walk, and I can't talk, and I can't see, and I can't breathe. And this pretty woman came, and she sat next to me, and she went, I like your handbag. And I went, will you be my sponsor? And, she's not here tonight. And she said to me, listen, I'd really like to help you. I'd really, really like to help you. And she went, come to my house tomorrow morning before you've used. We're going to read the book. And I was like, yeah, hang on a minute. I was like, I know you all really like your book, but I actually need some help. I don't think you understand. I'm dying, and I need some help, and a fucking weirdo book isn't going to help me, because it's a ludicrous proposition, isn't it? I'm dying of a terrifying drug problem, and these weirdos are going, we've got a book. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? You've got a book. I need some help. I need someone to do something, and I need someone to help me. What do you mean you've got a book? It's not even a good book. It's an olden days book, written before women were invented. It's not going to fucking help. But anyway, I did what she said. I went to her house, and we started reading the book. Listen to this, right? We didn't even read the book like a normal person reads a book. She opened the book and she read out loud the blank page. Bear in mind I'm rattling, right? And then, she read the fucking title page. All of it. All of the words on the title page, and I'm just sat thinking, what? It's not really how you read a book, is it, sweetheart? And this went on. She read the contents page, all of it, like all of the words on all of the contents pages, and she was so excited. Honestly, she was so excited. And then she read the preface. Have you ever read the preface of a book? Does anybody ever read the preface of a book? No, not how you read a book, sweetheart. I just want to go. I want to use. But I didn't go. I kept drinking tea and smoking fags while this excited lunatic read this weirdo olden days book to me. And, oh my God, it didn't stop there. Forward to the fucking first edition. There's 4 of them. Blah, 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 blah. On and on. Listen, I'm absolutely hopeless. I'm like, this is not going to help. It's going to be like everything else. All of you have stupid ideas that you've had, Caroline. This is yet another one of them. Anyway, went for another fag and another cup of tea. And we came back and she was like, we'll read a bit more. And I was like, okay, you fucking lunatic. And then she started reading the doctor's opinion, right? And when she started reading the doctor's opinion, she kept stopping and she kept telling me what her using looked like. And she kept telling me about, like, oh my God, there was this one time when I did this. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, there was this one time when I did this. And she was like, and then there was another time when this happened. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that happened to me. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, and yeah, oh yeah. And something happened. She started describing herself as abnormal. And I was like, oh my God. Abnormal? Do you think I might be abnormal? Listen, it's never occurred to me. It's never, ever occurred to me that I might be abnormal, because I've always looked at other people and thought, you're not doing it right. What do you mean you're fucking going home? What do you mean you're saving some? Get it out, come on. What do you mean no? What do you mean you don't anymore? What fucking weirdo? I always thought they were abnormal, even from right at the very beginning. We used to go out when I grew up at a time when the glue sniffing was very popular and butane gas. That was my era of growing up. And we used to go out from school at lunchtime and sniff butane gas. And then my friends used to get like a can of gas to share between 4 of them. And I'd have like a can up this sleeve and I'd have a can up this sleeve. And I'd be like that. Wah, wah, wah. And then I'd be like, wah, wah, wah. And they'd be like politely passing their can around like that. And I'd be like, wah, wah, wah. And then these girls would go, right, come on, Carrie, we've got to go back to school. And I'd be like, got to go where? What? And they'd be like, we've got to go back to school, Caroline. And I'm like, no, we can stay here and just do this. We'll just do this. And they'd be like, Caroline, what is wrong with you? We've got to go. And I'd be like, what is fucking wrong with you, weirdos? Going back, we stay here. And I thought they were abnormal. I genuinely, it had never occurred to me until this point in my life. I genuinely thought they were abnormal. And I was doing it right. And I was really fucking good at using. And everybody else was just shit, really. Abnormal. Do I have an abnormal physical reaction? I was like, oh my God, well, something different does happen to me. Absolutely, something different happens to me when I put a substance in. Something different happens to me. Something that doesn't happen to my sister or to my husband or to my mum or to my friends. Something really different happens to me. It wakes this thing up. It wakes this physical thing up inside me, this physical force that drives me, this physical force that drives everything I do. It's an insatiable hunger for more. Insatiable hunger for more. And it drives me. It drives me to places I don't want to be, with people that I don't want to be with, doing things that I don't want to do. And I end up despising myself, but this force is strong, man. It's strong and it keeps driving me and it keeps forcing me and it's never ever satisfied. And I was like, oh my God, this book's quite good, isn't it? What else does it say? I was just encouraging her. But I was starting to be lit up. I was starting to be lit up because you see that question from the cold, dark middle of the night in between the 2 babies' cots, that question, what is wrong with you? It was starting to answer the question. Abnormal physical reaction, an allergy. That's what an abnormal physical reaction is. Now, I am also allergic to cats. Where's I'm mentioning cats for you? I'm allergic, sorry. I'm allergic to cats. Is anybody else allergic to things? Loads of people. I'm allergic to cats. Is anyone allergic to cats? Yeah. I mean, I love cats as well. I really love them, but I cannot. They make me really ill. They make my face swell up. They make my eyes swell up. I can't breathe properly. And like, if you've got a cat, like, please don't hug me because I actually really am I'm seriously allergic to cats. Hi. Hi, get it? Who is it? Hiya, Dad. Hello, Emma's dad. Sorry, Emma. Where was I? The cats. Right. I'm really, really, really allergic to cats. And you see, what the book tells us, and this is my experience, that physical thing, that physical allergy, that physical abnormal reaction is easy to solve. It's easy to solve that physical condition. Like, I've been removed from society numerous times, and that physical need, that physical craving, that inexplicable craving for more phenomenon, inexplicable, can see it but you can't explain it, it's solved relatively easily. It takes some it takes some of that, but it's quite easy to solve. If I stop using, that physical part of the problem is solved quite quickly, and I've solved that physical part numerous times. And you see this allergy, there's something else going on. There's something else going on alongside it, and this is what the doctor's opinion talks about. You see, when I see a cat, 100% of the time, and I don't know if you're the same, every single time I see a cat, my brain goes to me, Caroline, don't touch the cat, it's going to make you ill. And I'm like, okay, don't touch the cat. Oh my God, I really want to. I'm not going to touch the cat. My brain has never ever said to me, Caroline, it's been 6 months since you stroked a cat. I think you're going to be fine. Because that'd be mental, wouldn't it? My brain has never said to me, Caroline, this cat is ginger. That other cat was black. think ginger cats are all right. Because that would be ridiculous if my mind did that. My mind has never said to me, Caroline, just for this one Friday night. It's one Friday night, have a really good cuddle with the cat. And then tomorrow, don't cuddle the cat, and it's not going to bother you at all. Because I'd be certifiably insane if my brain works like that around my allergy to cats. My brain's absolutely 100% effective 100% of the time. All of the time, I know that I'm allergic to cats. But you see, with mind-altering substances, and this thing about all of the mind-altering substances, like heroin is definitely my favourite, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't matter whether it's heroin or headache tablets or crack or cough medicine or antihistamines or amphetamines or vodka, high-strength lager or nail varnish remover, because that's what sort of alcoholic I am. It doesn't matter what the substance is. In every single time I've had a period of abstinence, every single time I've solved that physical allergy, every single time, without fail, my mind has presented me with an idea, do it again. And I'm like, okay, all right, see ya. I go and do it again. No effective thought of what the terrific consequences are going to be. Absolutely unable to recall with sufficient force the horror, the memory, the pain, the degradation, the suffering that comes every time I use. Sometimes I can remember it a bit, but not with sufficient force. Sometimes I can remember, oh God, it was really, really bad last time when your husband did say he was going to leave you and take the kids. Sometimes there's a bit of that goes on, but my mind's like, yeah, it's all right. Totally different person now. We're just going to drink pink wine. What harm could that do? And I do it. And you see, like, the book from here, from the doctor's opinion, it goes into minute detail about this mental problem. It goes into minute detail about my mind being the crux of the problem. My mind is the crux of the problem. Every single period of abstinence I've ever had has ended with my mind in some way going, do it again. And it's insidious, man. It's sneaky and it's stealth. Like, sometimes I'm literally just walking around Tesco's doing my shopping. Nothing's going on. There's no drama, there's no trauma, there's no chaos, there's no calamity. Just walking around Tesco's, getting some bananas, getting some porridge for the kids. And my mind goes, Caroline, you have actually got a really bad back. Go to the pharmacy, buy some codeine-based painkillers. And I'm like, oh my God, yes I have. Off I limp. And on the way there, I develop a cough. This is a true story. Like, this has actually happened. Like, codeine-based painkillers and some of that behind-the-counter cough medicine as well. And then I get into the car park, I take all of them with, and I'm off again. That physical need for more, that insatiable hunger, that force that's driving me to places I don't want to be, people I don't want to be with, doing things that I don't want to do, and I despise myself. And you see, when this was revealed to me in the book and in your stories, you told me your stories, and I was like, oh my God, that happens to me. Oh my God, I've done that. Oh my God, that happens to me. And it matched up with my experience with the book and with your stories. It absolutely convinced me that I'm an alcoholic of the type described in the book. I'm an alcoholic. I'm here. I'm in the book. I found myself in all of these pages. I found myself. I'm Jim, and I'm Fred, and I'm a man of 30, and I'm the jaywalker, and I'm Bill, and I'm not ever so Bob because he's quite sensible. But I found myself in these pages, and I became convinced that I'm doomed to an alcoholic death. I'm doomed to keep repeating the failed experiment of the first one. Again and again and again. Destroying the lives of everybody that I touch and that I profess to love. Destroying the lives of everybody until I'm dead. And it was like this massive spiritual penny dropped. And I was like, I can't believe it. I was like, this is it. This is why all these 12-step weirdos, because I did think you were proper weird. I was like, this is why all these 12-step weirdos keep talking about God, banging on about God all the time they were. And I thought, this is why they're talking about God, because if my mind is clearly the crux of the problem, my mind is clearly what leads me back to drinking and using, obviously I need something greater than my mind. I need something higher than my mind. And my step 2 experience, like the book is dead polite because it's an olden days book. It goes, are you now willing to believe? My experience was a bit like, there fucking better be one. And really, right, hang on, let me just look at the time. Really, I mean, someone will tell me about the time, won't they? Really, like, we've got the steps over here, and if you're new, like, what I've just described to you is step 1, the problem, and step 2, the solution. Like, my problem is powerless. If my problem is powerless, obviously the solution's power. It's so fucking simple when we get to it. I've made it so complicated for my whole life. And we get to it, the problem's powerlessness, the solution's power. But I will say, right, in essence, I'm just an old smackhead from Hull, and this presents a bit of a problem for me. Because, like, I literally know nothing about God. I know that the animals went in 2 by 2, and I think I remember that a man lived in a whale at some point, and that's it. That's what I know about God. So I'm in this position where I know that I'm doomed to an alcoholic death, and I know that I need to do this God stuff that you're all talking about, but what? Well, how am I going to do that? I'm just an old smackhead from Hull. I don't know nothing about that sort of shit. And if you're in that position now and it seems weird and it seems big and it seems too much and it seems like not what you came here for and it's just weird and it's just out there and it's like, what? God? What do I know about that? Oh, I don't want you to worry. I really, genuinely don't want you to worry because we got a book. No, literally, actually, the rest of the book is about how Caroline, spiritually bereft old smackhead from Hull, can get connected to a power greater than herself. That's what the rest of the book's about. It's what the steps are about. It's what CA's about. It's what sponsorship's about. It's what meetings are about, and it's what this convention's about. If you need to find a power by which you can live, we can show you. We've actually literally got an instruction book. If you need to find a power by which you can live, I'm saying it again, we can show you. We can show you what we did. So in step 3, I made this decision to turn my will and my life over, my thoughts and my actions, my mind and my body over to the care of a God that I absolutely, definitely didn't understand. But what it looked like for me was I was just going to do what I was asked to do. And my sponsor told me to write this inventory. And she just read the instructions out of the book. I really needed a sponsor. I really needed. Well, a series of women have taken me through this work, and they've showed me where the instructions are, and they've showed me what to do, and they've sat me down and gone, right, write this, do lines on the page like that, write this at the top, and then write this in the column, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, right, now go and read this, and it literally walked me through step by step every single word and every single page in the book, and I just did what I was told, and I had this inventory, right, and I wrote this inventory, and I found some things out, listen. I'm a dramatic and hysterical overreactor. Who knew? Fucking hell, not me. Like, I genuinely didn't know. But more importantly, I didn't know. I just make things up, right? My mind literally just makes things up. I didn't know this. Like, I remember someone saying to me, do you think you're always right? And I was like, well, what sort of question is that? Of course I do. Because, what? I was like, what? Well, if I thought what I thought was wrong, I wouldn't think it, would I? I was genuinely confused by the question. Well, of course I think I'm right, because I wouldn't think it if it was wrong, would I? But what this inventory showed me, like all of my life has been filled with this like chaos and calamity and conflict and all of my life, and I got it all written down. And I found out that my mind just makes things up. Like, literally, I just look at someone and think, well, they don't like me. Cunt. I'm going to fucking tell them. I need to tell them about themselves. Obviously don't like, I don't even know them. I've never met them before. I just, in my mind. And I got all this down on the piece of paper. So, pieces of papers, there was a lot. And you know what became very apparent to me? All of the chaos, calamity and conflict in my life, all of it, every single thing I wrote down on every single page, all of it had one thing in common. Do you know what it was? Da, 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 da. It was me. It was me. And you see, oh my God, like I was genuinely shocked. And You see, the information that I got in step one, it defeated me sufficiently to accept that I needed to do this God stuff. I'm going like that because when I say God, I can almost guarantee that when I say God, I don't mean what you think I mean. But it defeated me sufficiently to accept that I needed to do this God stuff in my life. And you see the information that came out of doing a step 5, a searching and fearless moral inventory, then sharing it with another person, it defeated me even more because my life wasn't what I thought it was. I wasn't who I thought I was. My life, written down on paper in black and white, my life, Caroline's life run by Caroline, it was awful. I was disgusted with myself all over again. It wasn't even about drinking and using them. This is just how I live, just how I be with people, just how I exist. And it defeated me sufficiently to accept that I actually need God for my living, not just with my drinking and drugging. And that's what step 6 and 7 is all about. I need some help with living. I need to start doing some spirit work. And that's what step 6 and 7 is all about. And then step 8 and 9 we've got. Listen, I used to come in here and look at step 9 and think, what? Me? Say sorry to them? They need to be saying sorry to me? I don't know. But my sponsor made me go away and she made me write this thing about, do these columns about now, later, maybe never, and write everybody and go back to the step 4 and write them all down and who your hand and what you do. And I did it. And I went back to her and I was like, well, I've got it. Oh, step 8, that's done. Willing, yeah, willing. And she went, okay, so we read a bit more. Read the book. She was a proper big book thumper. And she went, okay, so who on the list do you hate? And I was like, yeah, that one there. There was one person on the never list, and I was like, that one there, she's done the worst thing to me. I absolutely hate her. I'll run her down in the street. If I see her, I'm going to run her over. And like burn her house down with her children in her. I really hated this woman. She did the worst thing possible to me, this woman. And my sponsor went, okay, we're going to ring her now. And I was like, hang on a minute. I think you'll see she's on the never list. My sponsor was like, well, hang on a minute. I think you'll see that at the beginning you agreed to go to any lengths for victory over alcoholism. Oh, she was such a bastard. Because she'd actually made me write it in the front of my book, I agree. I've still got it here. It's really faint now. It's on the blank page. It says it here, it's really faint now. It says, I am willing to go to any lengths for victory over alcoholism, and it's got my signature, and it's got the date. So I couldn't even deny that I'd made that agreement with her in the beginning. And her point was, like, up until now, we'd gone through the book, word by word, page by page, and it had been going all right. And she was like, why do you think we're going to skip forward 5 pages for you to go sit with your mum now? Because we're not. We're going to carry on word for word, page by page, and the first person it talks about is a person that you hate. Ring her. And I was like, okay. And you know when you ring someone like that, please don't answer, please don't answer. And anyway, this woman answered the phone after about 1 ring, and she was like, oh my God, Caroline, I'm so sorry for what I've done. I'm so sorry. Something happened to me. Something happened to me. Listen, the truth happened to me. The truth happened to me. All this woman had ever done was try to help me. She'd been my best friend for 17 years, and all she'd ever done was try and help me. And she kept saying to me, she did keep saying, Carl, I'm not going to keep keeping secrets. I'm not going to keep lying for you. I'm not going to keep doing this. And I'd be like, yeah. Just look after the kids. Yeah. Just lend us a tenner. Yeah. Have the kids for me. Yeah. Just ring Stephen. Tell him that I was with you last night. Yeah. And she kept saying, Carl, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm not going to keep doing it. I was like, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to a meeting. Look after the kids. And what she did was, she went on Facebook. Oh, my God. And she went on Facebook and she did a post that went, Caroline needs help. It didn't just say that. It carried on. It was like fucking step 5 on Facebook. honestly, she wrote this big, long thing on Facebook, and oh, God, it was like the secret was up, the game was out. It was the worst thing that anybody could ever do to me, because I was quite kind of like secret with my using. The school mums could see it, my work colleagues could see it, like the game was up, the secret was out. So I made up this massive story that actually she's in love with my husband, and she's trying to ruin my life, and everybody needs to fall out with her. She's a bastard, do not talk to her anymore. I have got a little bit of a drug problem, but I'm sorting it out. She's in love with my husband. We need to hate her. And the truth happened to me. The truth happened to me just in like a second. The truth hit me. All she ever did was try to help me. And she told me she was going to do that. She told me she was going to stop keeping secrets. She told me she was going to tell everyone. And I was like, listen, you've got nothing to apologise for. I'm coming round now. And you see, I really get it. I really get it. Like my sponsor's point was, you can't go see your mum if you've got hate for somebody. How are you going to go make amends to your mum while you want to burn someone's house down with the kids in it? That's not an amends, is it? How are you going to make amends to your children when you've got hate in your heart? We need to sort that out first. Anyway, when I got to her house, I was like, listen, I haven't got enough time to tell all the stories. But listen, the long and short of it was, I was like, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? I need to put it right. I've been a terrible friend. And she went, listen, all I want you to do is be my friend. She was there last night. She came to see the play. And I had to be honest with her. When she said to me, I want you to be my friend, I was like, I don't know how to do that. You're going to have to help me. You're going to have to show me. Because I've been so selfish all of my life. Even friends were only there to serve my purposes. I don't know how to be a friend. She showed me how to be a friend. Yeah. And this is, I've got loads more stories I can tell you, but I ain't got time. Listen, you see, when we get to step 10 in the book, you see, it's amazing. Do you know what it says? It says continue, 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 4 times in one paragraph it says continue. Do you know what it wants us to do? Fucking continue. It wants us to continue watching selfishness, dishonesty, resentment and fear. That's what we'll continue to watch. Keep looking, keep watching. Continue, 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 continue. Resentment can't stop thinking about you. Selfishness can't stop thinking about me. Fear can't stop thinking about me with you. And dishonesty basically just can't stop thinking. Like, I still make things up. My mind, it's quiet and considered, but it's still there. He doesn't like you. You need to fucking tell him. That's not all right. You need to tell him, Car. It's not all right. You can't behave like that. You can't be acting like that. It's still there, and this is what step 11 is about. You see, step 11, right? Bill Wilson talks about being rocketed into a 4th dimension of existence. He talks about being rocketed. And what my step 11 experience was, right? This is a very abridged version of my story, but I just started saying yes to things, right? I just started saying yes to weird stuff. Any weird stuff. If someone said, do you want to come banging gongs? I was like, yeah. And they were like, do you want to come tambourine waving flags singing hymns? Yeah. Do you want to come and lie down in a river? Yeah. Do you want to come and sit quietly over there? Yeah. I just started saying yeah. And you see what I found out? You see out there in the world of people who are not in here, there's loads of people who are living a spiritual life, right? Not because it's number 11 in the list of instructions of how not to kill yourself with heroin. They're living a spiritual life just because it's a really nice way of living. It's a really cool way of living. And they absolutely are really happy to share their beliefs, their practices, their spaces, their readings. They're really happy to share it with us if we go and ask. So I just started asking and I just started seeking. And there was this one time when my friend said, do you want to come on a retreat? I was like, yeah. And she was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And I ended up in a nunnery in the middle of the Gloucestershire countryside, and this Frenchman walked in, and he went, we're going to give ourselves the gift of silence. And I was like, you fucking what? I was like, I can't stay here. It was a silent retreat, because I don't always listen. I was just saying yes to things. And it was a silent retreat. And my arms started hurting. And I was thinking, I'm having a heart attack. I definitely need to go home. But I couldn't go home because I'd gone with somebody else. And it was in the middle of nowhere. There was no phone signal. I was like, oh my God, I'm absolutely trapped here. And we're allowed to talk. I think Emma was there. We were like whispering because I couldn't do it. And it was a silent retreat, and I thought, no, this is not for me. I cannot do it. I'm going to die. I'm having a heart attack. My arm is hurting. I go, and everyone's been really quiet, and I was like, and something happened to me. Something happened to me that weekend. Do you know what I found out that weekend for me? God's first language is silence. You see, I was doing all these other things. I love chanting, and I love the gongs, and I love the, I was doing all these really spiritually uplifting things, and I still love doing all those things now, but it's a bit like me and speed. I don't really need stimulant in. Like when I used to take speed, people would run away when they saw me come in. I'm like, fucking hell, she's coming. Get away from her. She'll be talking for 4 days. And it was a very similar experience on this retreat. The book talks about deep, effective spiritual experiences. And you see, from that weekend, I've developed this dedicated and disciplined step 11 practice, which involves silence. I mean, listen, I can't even tell you. Everything has changed. Everything. And I'm not talking about drinking and drugging now. That's like another story now. This is a totally new story that I'm telling you now. Everything has changed. The way that I dress, what I eat, what I drink, what I watch on telly, the music that I listen to, everything, how I drive my car, everything has changed. I've been reborn. And perhaps the biggest change that's happened to me, and this is what I absolutely love about Cocaine Anonymous, and it's absolutely necessary for me, for an addict of my type, that you continually prove me wrong. You continually prove me wrong. My ideas, I only ever think I know stuff, and then someone shows me, I'm like, I don't know nothing. All of my life, what I thought was I had to get things. I thought I had to get things to be all right. I've got to get this, get that. And we kind of taught it out. We were kind of taught that as a child. Like, got to work hard at school, get your GCSEs, you get a good job, get some money. And I think that's where it comes from. It's just this cultural thing. You've got to get things, you're going to be happy. And you get this, you're going to be happy. And I've lived my life, all of my life like that. I need to get that, I need to get that money, I need to get that relationship, I need to get that, I need to get that script, I need to get that place in detox, I need to get that money, I need to get that gear. And even when I came here, I was like, I need to get this sponsor, I need to get this spiritual experience, I need to get. Oh my God, I've been so wrong all of my life. Do you know what I've learned in Cocaine Anonymous? One of the most valuable things that you've showed me. I've learned the secret of living. You lot, you bunch of low down, lying, cheating, thieving, scumbag junkies, you've showed me the secret of living. And if you only can remember one thing that I tell you tonight, I want you to remember it, this. The secret of living. I'm going to tell you what it is. This is big. Get a pen. You don't need a pen, it's easy. Listen to me, the secret of living is giving. That's it. Been wrong all my life. Don't need to get things. Secret of living is giving. And I've really, really got to just give some respect and some love to the women who came before me, women like Maria who came before me, and they gave their time and they put up with my lunaticism. I don't know if that's a word, but it should be to describe me. They gave up their time and they put up with my lunaticism to give me the opportunity of living 2 lives in one. Because that's what I feel has happened to me. I've been given the opportunity to live 2 lives in one. And I'm forever grateful for the women who came before me and who laid the path and who lit the lamps and enabled me to have this experience. But there's more. Because actually, I wouldn't be here without them. But the women who I owe my lives to are the women who came after me. The women who are on this path and have given me the privilege of being able to walk alongside them and to be able to give to them what's been freely given to me. You've saved my life. You've given me a purpose and you've given me a value and you've given me a worth, and you've made all of the horrors of the past worthwhile and of value. They needed to happen so that I could show you what they showed me. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. You know, the book asks us to be open-minded about spiritual terms that we hear, but I see eternal life in this room. I was just stood there before I spoke and I was looking at every single table and I saw love and I see eternal life. You see, because if I help you and you help the next person over there and they help the next person, it goes on for eternity. That's what we've got here. I look at every single table when that song was playing, Fix You, and I could see people reaching out in love to their brothers and sisters. That's what's happening here. Love is what's happening here. Listen, I'm sure I've probably talked for long enough. We need to do disco dancing, don't we? But you see, coming here in utter defeat, I followed some instructions, and what I learned to do was love God. And in learning to love God, I learned to love you. And in learning to love you, all of you, and I mean all of you, I feel actual love in my heart for you. In learning to love you, I've learned to love myself. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. Thank you so much.
Listen to me, why?